Good evening friends. Today I will describe about minimum support price or very famously called as MSP. MSP, farmer, green revolution all are connected with each other. The impact of MSP in the rural sector is so pertinent. You all know that the impact is so high. Farmer could not frame the farm law in 2020 rather than repealed it in favor of the farming community. Here in this video, I will not describe anything about CSCP. I will not describe anything about who decide the price of the MSP. I will not describe anything about whether how many commodities should be included in MSP. It is 22, 23, 24, whatever, irrespective of the literature. I will not describe anything in this video. I will describe MSP in three categories. Category number one, some of the policymakers highlighted that MSP is good for the farming community. Some of the policymakers highlighted that MSP is not good, rather it has some negative impact on the farming community and the society. And some of the policymakers are there who are highlighted that MSP is required but it needs some changes. Let's discuss. One of the policymakers who gives the concept in the line of MSP that if MSP is there, then the chances of food securities for the growing population is there. If you like to feed 140 crore of populations, then there should be a system who procure the food grain from the farming community, channelizing them through their machineries, government machineries, and fed the persons who are not producing anything but need food for their survivability. MSP has the importance because when you are going for surplus production in the market, then there should be a person, when there is a surplus production, then definitely price will be going down. Then MSP come that institution is there, or government has the institution through MSP that procure the food grain, procure the commodities from the farming community. Ultimately, whatever the price will be going down, it has been stabilized. You all know that in the time of 1966-67, government promote the farming community to use the technology in connection with the seed. How the farmer will be motivated? In that time MSP will come, that the declaration of the MSP is always occur at the time of sowing period. It means if farmer will fail at any time due to use of technology, then definitely one system is there who procure the food grain, or who procure the food commodity from the farming community, then ultimately farmer will be motivated to use the technology. You all know that government or India is a very diversified country. Doesn't mean that everyone will be produce the food grain, everyone will produce the oil seed, everyone will produce the pulses. To make our resources in a balanced way, government declare the MSP price in such a manner that ultimately India could eligible to use its agroclimatic condition to produce the numbers of commodities for its growing population. All these are the advantage part of the MSP. Some of the policymakers highlighted that no, MSP has not any type of the advantages. MSP leads to monocropping. You all know that nowadays 3 to 4 commodity are there who are taking the pride of the MSPs. One is rice or paddy, second is wheat, third is cotton. Means more and more farmers are producing those commodity who have some assured market, or government machineries are procuring the paddy, wheat, cotton in such a manner, then ultimately it leads to monocropping. When there is the monocropping, one commodity will be produced, then ultimately it impact on natural resource management. And it has been observed that MSP, the declaration of the MSP is more proportion to landholding capacity. If you have the larger land, then the chances of MSP advantages you will get are better than who have the very less landholding capacity. Think about, we have 86.01% of the small and marginal farmers who are less than 2 hectares of the land. No doubt, in number wise, small and marginals are benefited in somehow to getting the advantage of MSP, but major chunk of MSP has been going to the larger commodity or larger farmers who are producing or more paddy, more wheat from their large quantity of the resources they have. They have the large landholding capacity, they produce more, then ultimately they will sell more to the machineries and they get the more benefit of the government systems. Government has the liability if they channelize the things through MSP. Why such type of the policymakers highlighted these things? Because you know that whatever the procurement has been done through MSP, it has been going to be stored through FCI or the government machineries and channelized through the PDS systems. But the problem is that 60% of the farmers who are producing the food grain and 60% of the young generations who are not consuming the food grain, rather they are going for milk, meat, egg, fish, all these commodity. It means government has the liability to connect or to satisfy the farming community by giving the MSP. If you procure the food grain by giving the MSP, and you know that due to increase of the wage rate, MSP also be increased nowadays, but ultimately through PDS systems you give the food grain through subsidized manner, and whatever the difference that highlighted in the form of the subsidy, if the FCI store more commodity according to their capacity, then ultimately inventory cost will be increased. All these costs have the negative impact on the government machineries and government revenue as well. MSP leads to environmental pollution. You all know that maximum pesticides used in paddy. If you produce more food grain, rice, wheat, maize, then ultimately you use more water from your natural resources. Then ultimately, can we say that if there is the MSP, there will be more paddy productions, and though there will be more paddy productions, then ultimately it will take more water. And what we are doing? We are producing paddy and simultaneously we are exporting the same. We are exporting the paddy, ultimately we export our water as well, that is called as the virtual water. These are the negative statements are coming in the line of MSP. Some of the solutions are there. People say that, or farming community demand that MSP should be legalized. It means whatever the government declared or whatever the price will be declared by the government should procure the particular commodity in that price. Numbers of times it has been highlighted that the paddy quintal is 2030 rupees, but the advantage will go to those person if you procure the commodity. If you not procure the commodity, then irrespective of the price of the paddy, what is the advantage will be taken by the farming community. So farming community or farmers declared that MSP is good, but it should be legalized. Some of the persons are highlighting that there should be the privatization system should come in the market forum. You all know that, and literature also say highlighted only 6% of the commodity or agriculture commodity in the form of the food grain has been traded through APMC or mandi systems. Rest 94% are traded outside of the mandi system. If there is the thing, we should promote more and more private players and make our systems more competitive. Then ultimately, whatever the leakages will going on, it will be checked out. Let's see if private players will come, the scenario will be changed or not. People or policymakers saying that if you think that large farmers are taking the more pie of the profit through MSP, then we should bring more farmers producer organizations. If more and more FPOs will come, then small and marginal farmers will be integrated. Then ultimately the small and marginal farmer will get the best part of the MSP. Whatever I have highlighted, it all are the permutation and combinations of different parameters. Nothing is stagnant. You can say that agribusiness policy and more connected to the minimum support price or MSP is so dynamic in the changing scenario of agribusiness management. You could not stick to one policy. Whatever the policy has been highlighted, you see advantage, disadvantage, probable solutions, then ultimately you have some control over what is going on in the market. Hopefully I have tried my best not to repeat the same things what has been highlighted in the books. I have highlighted those things actually that is going on in the policy discuss forum. Hopefully, dear students, you have enjoyed the things. Stay tuned with me. Thank you all. Thank you for watching my video.